Hello, and welcome to What is Crypto? I'm Matt, and this is Crypto. Today I'm going to be talking to you about NXRA. Now, this is a new one, and I haven't talked about this one before, but it is one that has been on my watch list for a long time, and it's one that I am super bullish on. So what is NXRA? Should I buy NXRA? Let's have a look at the charts and the product and find out together. But firstly, a little bit about my channel. Here I give to the point crypto information and education and talk all things crypto. I try to keep things short and sweet, as time is money, and money is more coins and tokens to fill up those bags. So if that sounds like it could be for you, then smash that like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Cheers, legends. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Now let's get into it. So firstly, NXRA, or formerly Alliance Block, is a crypto with a market cap of 107 million and is almost fully diluted, with 90+% of it already in circulation. Its fully diluted valuation is only 118 million, so it has a relatively low market cap. And what it is, it's in the real world asset and tokenization of assets space. And looking at the markets that NXRA is listed on, you can see that we listed on KuCoin, Mexi, CoinX, Bitmart, and a few other decentralized exchanges such as Uniswap. Now, we don't have any massive listings, but KuCoin and Mexi are two fairly large exchanges, which is really promising as it does have the upcoming catalysts of future exchange listings. And given its narrative, I think it's going to do really well in the upcoming market. So NXRA is the token used for Alliance Block. Now I'll talk about the token utility. Now, their token utility is as a medium of exchange, staking, network fees, means of reward. So in essence, they've ensured that their token has actual value and that it should grow, ensuring that investors are rewarded as Alliance Block itself grows too. In essence, though, I think this summarizes pretty well what Alliance Block does. So Alliance Block is building the decentralized tokenized market of tomorrow. Alliance Block is an infrastructure provider for decentralized token markets. It empowers businesses with liquidity provisioning and allows them to compliantly issue, manage, and trade tokenized digital assets, including RWAs. They're an infrastructure for compliant tokenized finance. Pretty much they allow institutions and businesses to compliantly issue, manage, and trade digital, financial, and tokenized real-world assets. Now, they do state that the US total wealth is around 516 trillion, and they project that up to 10% of the assets in the world in 2030 could be tokenized. They also mentioned that they're looking at tokenizing luxury items, having involvements in the tokenization of agri-finance, which there are multiple things to dig into there, but potentially allowing the tokenization of agricultural products. And through tokenizing the agricultural markets could make them more fair and more accessible. Scrolling down, you can see that they have an expansive network of collaborators and builders. So I won't read through all the names, but Artbank, Plug and Play, Open Wealth, Chainlink, Polygon, and Quant are some really big names in there. Also Ava Labs. So yeah, you can have a look at that list, and they do have some large partnerships. So pretty much they are an infrastructure play, and they're looking to bridge DeFi and TradFi, so traditional finance with decentralized finance. And if you're not too familiar with the tokenization of RWAs or real world assets, really, what that seeks to do is to tokenize real world assets such as gold, diamonds, property, art, all of those types of things. And it seeks to allow fractionalization of them. So for example, a house. Now, I live in Australia, so houses are darn expensive. Say you've got $1 million house, which isn't actually that great a house in Australia, unfortunately. So you've got $1 million house in Sydney. Now, a lot of the market can't afford that. So a lot of the market is cut out from that. But imagine you want some exposure to the real estate market, and you want some exposure to owning a house as housing prices you think will increase. Well, by allowing tokenization of assets, allowing the fractionalization of assets, you'll be able to buy a percentage of that house. Think of Bitcoin, for example. Most people can't buy one Bitcoin. However, most people can buy multiple Satoshis. If you don't know, a Satoshi is 100 millionth of a Bitcoin. So there are 100 million sats that make up one Bitcoin. It allows the fractionalization of an asset such as Bitcoin, making it easily transferable. So you'll be able to send a portion of your wealth, or you'll be able to buy a portion of an asset. So in essence, that's what the tokenization of real world assets seeks to do. It seeks to allow the fractionalization of real world assets and allows them to be purchasable in tokens. This will increase the amount of people that are able to enter the market. So that's just a quick little thing on RWA RWAs in general. Now, if you look on DeFi Llama at the real world asset total value locked, you can see that the total value locked of real world assets is increasing at a quick rate. Now, if you look at a few other things such as BlackRock and Larry Fink, he talks about the tokenization of assets, and he believes it has the potential to revolutionize the traditional financial markets, or TradFi, by making assets more accessible, efficient, and transparent. Pretty much the way he sees it is that every stock or bond will have its own CUSIP number, and a CUSIP number is in essence just a unique identification number. So every stock or bond will have its own unique identification number that will be on one general ledger, and every individual investor will have their own identification. He states that that can really rid us of a lot of issues around illegal activities, and also having an increased access to things that previously might not have been accessible due to financial barriers. They also have an enormous focus on regulatory compliance, and without regulatory compliance, a lot of products in this field I think are going to fail. At the end of the day, despite what your own beliefs might be, large institutional money needs regulation, and they're not going to invest in things that aren't compliant. They're also chain agnostic, so it will allow you to build on top of multiple networks or deploy a cross-chain or multiple chain strategy. Another great thing about Alliance Block is that their team is doxed, with their CEO Rashid being very active on X or Twitter. You can check out his X page. He posts fairly regularly about what NXRA are doing, and in general just about the tokenization of RWAs. Going back to the NXRA page, you can also have a look at who's following them. So they've got some very big followers. So obviously their CEO is following. They're followed by Capo, Kyle Chassé, Kaduna, Elio Trades, and Steve Morgan. So some pretty big names in the space, some pretty influential people. They're also heavily backed and shielded by crypto god John, who has made multiple posts about them. However, I haven't mentioned them up until this time, as well I've still thought that they were highly undervalued. I thought that given the market conditions, we could get a better entry, and I think we've got that entry. So let's have a look at the chart. All right, now onto the chart. So NXRA is one that I've been bullish on for ages, but I've actually been holding off sharing a video on it as I really wanted to get you guys a good entry on this one. Now it's a project that I really like and it's got some big backers, but we did have a massive pump up and I didn't want to shill it right near the top of its pump. I wanted to wait until it at least came back to fib retracement levels, which if you can look at that, the 618 puts it at the 18 cent mark. However, I did note that we were in a descending triangle, and I noted that we did have a huge amount of support at around the 15.5 cent mark, and that we also had a huge amount of support at around the 13.2. So I held off and waited till we came to the 15 cent mark, just to have a bit of a think about what we were doing. If we had a bounced up off there and then broken through this descending triangle, then I would have posted the video a while ago. But because we didn't, I figured we were going to get a better entry, and at the end of the day, you want to get good entries on your projects, as that's how you make the most money in crypto. So what I've got for you as well is I've got a few indicators. So we're under the 20 SMA and we're also under the 50 SMA. So being below both of those on a project that is bullish is a good sign. We also have our stochastic RSI at a rating of 4.1. So if you're not familiar, anything under 20 or 0.2 is an oversold region, similarly to the RSI. So anything under 30 indicates it is oversold. So in this project, something that I'm hugely bullish on, I think that a combination of these factors with the fact that we're also coming up to a large amount of support, and I think the fact that we're also coming up to altcoin season, are just some of the reasons why I am bullish on NXRA. I'm bullish as Bitcoin dominance has been starting to drop only slightly. However, we have had the halving and Bitcoin dominance is on its way down. So I would expect that altcoin season over the next 2 to 3 months begins to rear its head. I think you could do a lot worse than beginning to accumulate NXRA at these levels. If you can get good entries on projects backed by big influencers such as Crypto God John, in bullish narratives such as the tokenization of RWAs, and you couple that with a very attractive price on the chart, I think you're really starting to give yourself the best chance of succeeding in this bull run. Awesome, so that'll wrap it up for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if you hold NXRA, or let me know if you hold any of the picks that I've been talking about. I always appreciate your support and comments. Thank you so much, legends. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Now, catch you in the next one.